Alright, check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Looks like audios are all working. There was something that wasn't working earlier, so I had to check. And I am also getting distracted in Twitter right now, scrolling through the For You tab, as I do whenever I check for webcomics that come up around this time. So anyway, I think I marked some of the ones that I want to see if I can work on after the stream. So I'll check on those later. But yeah, hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to the stream. Aru and Mahjong Soul, yes. Mahjong Soul had a Blue Archive collab a while ago. A very long time ago, I forgot how long now. And Aru was one of the it was Aru, Mutsuki, and Hoshino were the ones you could roll for. Basically, if you haven't played Mahjong Soul before, the characters that you play as are just basically skins. So they have no special abilities or whatsoever. It's just whoever you want to play as. But the main reason to probably roll for them is that and the stickers, their emote stickers. So yeah, but today we are gonna be trying out Washizu Mahjong, which is the Mahjong, the different, well, there's like regular Mahjong, and then there's this really weird rule in Akagi. Akagi is a Mahjong series, I guess, and that's basically where I learned Mahjong from. And let's just say Washizu Mahjong, if normal Mahjong is basically all your hands concealed, just like you would do in a regular game or poker and whatnot, Washizu Mahjong is 3/4 of all the tiles are visible. So each tile has like 4 copies, and 3/4 of those copies are transparent. So everyone knows what the heck is what everyone has. And I guess also in a normal game, it's not that it won't show up in Mahjong Soul. You can also see what's coming up next in the draws. But I've been wanting to roll on the gacha for this one, so I'm gonna do a couple of rolls before we get started. And normally for Mahjong night, I just kind of yap. I just kind of yap as we do this while we play. So yeah. Oh hey, the cats, welcome. How's it going? Nice to see you again. I have seen you. I have seen you poking around in Twitter. But yeah, welcome. How's it going? I know I haven't played Mahjong in a while. The first time in a long time was last month, and then I figured maybe once a month or so, I do this again just so there's like yapping time to do. But yeah. Oh wow, we actually have more than one person on Twitch. That's amazing. That's actually amazing. BGM kind of bass boosted for some reason. Is it bass boosted? I didn't do anything to it. I didn't do anything to the audio. If it is bass boosted, I don't hear it. Let me see. Wow, we actually have more than 2 people in Twitch. That's amazing. They're pulling tiles from a sack instead of a building in a wall, so they don't see what's happening. This is true. Welcome, Zero Sanity. I'm gonna roll first in the gacha before we get started, but let me know in chat who wants to play. But basically, I'm gonna be putting the link in the chat for anyone who wants to join in. I think I have how many rolls do I have? I have 20. I have 20 rolls I can do. What is the difference between the two of them? Sakura collab. Why isn't the Sakura collab the female? The female side of the gacha, but there's no female or male here. They're all male. They're all male. I guess it's not rated up for either one of them. It's the pool gotcha in this case. It seems like it's the same for both of them, so why did they put both of them? It's a non-rate up. Anyway, I'll just go through the bamboo. I guess I can only do one at a time? I can't do this. Yeah, I can't do that one. Okay, we'll summon one at a time. And I'm not gonna put any money into this. Too expensive. Way expensive. Oh! Okay, well, I guess Akagi, I'm on the first roll. This is not who. Oh, well, I was gonna go for either Akagi or Washizu. I was kind of hoping for Washizu. First, okay, that's. Where's the details? Is Akagi? No, they're both rate up. They're both rate up. Do I go again just to see if I can get Washizu? Or is this good enough? I actually like Washizu's emotes more than I do Akagi's. I mean, let's be honest here. Akagi's is a little bit too stoic. Meanwhile, Washizu's, look at this madman. Look at the emotes for Washizu. I rather would get that. I don't think the rates are different between the two of them. 5% among odds, 59%. Roll for the decoration. I guess I can do that too. What is the? Oh, that's the Ricci stick. What does this do? What's this one? Ah, okay, so that's for calling Ricci. And this is for Ron, I'm assuming. What is this one? Zawa winning animation. You know what? Fair. Let's keep rolling. Roll for decoration. You roll for cosmetics in this game, and some people might say that's like not great, but they don't make any money otherwise. The fact that they're giving more free rolls these days is because of Ricci City. But otherwise, I feel like despite the rates, it's really hard to get anything here. Like super hard to get anything here. Oh, what's this one? Regular Ricci beep. Well, meh. Let's keep going. I might use all. Okay, I'm gonna stop either if I get the Zawa. I was gonna say I was also gonna stop if I get Washizu. Well, I guess I'm stopping my rolls today. Streamer luck is real. Why do I have such a high streamer luck for Mahjong Soul today of all days? This is not normal. This is not normal. Washizu and Akagi in 5. I don't get the Zawa. I kind of want a Zawa though. Do I go for Zawa anyway? Should I? I mean, it's not gonna come back unless the collab is back. You know what? Let's screw it. Keep going. Spark it. How much is Spark? Wait, how much is Spark? Is it 100? 150 for a character. Oh, I can buy it outright. Never mind. I'll just get it right here. Yes. For winning, this one is for Ricci. I'm okay not getting the other ones. I'll save my thing for later. Okay, well that was quick. That was quick. Okay, I'm gonna go and get started, guys, and then we can keep going. Let's see. Which one is Washizu? Is it Battle of Darkness? It's this one, right? Battle of Darkness. And we'll do 100. Well, 1 east only. 300 seconds. Let me double check. Battle of Darkness is. Oh, it's Clairvoyance. Okay, let's go for that one. Okay, link in chat. For anyone who wants to join, I'm gonna change my thing to Washizu because I feel like that's gonna be hilarious. Oh, wait, I have the Bina Ricci stick. I forgot I had that. Okay, we go there. I'll take this one. I still have the cat paw. I still have the cat paw. I'll keep those. I'll keep this. I'll keep this. All right. Well. Ooh. The Hoshino. The Hoshino. Wait. Is this the Bond outfit or is this the other thing? Forget. Darkness is pay points for locking. It's the skin. I see. All right, the cats. Oh, this is the Bond outfit. Both are cute. But I'm gonna be Washizu for at least one. Alright, you know the rules, guys. No watching the stream, but you can listen in. Just like a real table. But then again, actually no, well yeah, no watching the stream. I was gonna say, maybe it doesn't matter here, but no, there's still hidden tiles. There are still technically hidden tiles. You can, hey, you can see my opaque tiles. No. We can kind of see the tiles, true, but you can see my opaque tiles. I don't want to show you my opaque tiles. Maybe I can't stop you, but still. Anyway. Crap. It's kind of... This is intimidating. Normally I just yap about anything, but I think today... I might be focusing on the game a little bit. Just because look at the heck. What the heck is going on here? Regress has my west tile. Ah, jeez, you know what? I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't think that's coming to me. And I am scared of both Zero Insanity and the cats right now. Like, what the heck? Okay, how the heck do you do this? How the heck do you do this? This is actually crazy. I do have a Washizu Mahjong set in real life, but haven't really gotten a chance to use it because, you know, you need people for that, and kind of hard to get people. Okay. Well, this is bad. This is bad. I can see all the tiles that I need. And I'm not exactly sure what to do with everyone else's tiles at the moment. Yeah, I think I kind of see what like Cats has. But again, it's still kind of scary. Because I don't really know what to do here. I'm kind of paralyzed right now by choice. Get rid of this anyway. I really shouldn't try to get rid of my opaque tiles, but you know, it's... This is true Zawazawa moment. This is a true Zawazawa moment. Yeah, maybe let's get rid of that. Oh, jeez. What could be the hidden tiles here? What could be the hidden tiles? It doesn't matter anymore. I'm gonna die here today. That's just how it's gonna be. I'm gonna die here today. Despair! Oh, despair is ramping up. Okay. Huge Zawazawa moment. I think I know what the cat is waiting for, and I don't know if anyone is gonna be dumb enough to deal into that. Amazing Digital Circus finale was today. That was neat. Oh, jeez. I never got into Digital Circus. I just know that there is. Oh crap! Might as well give this to you. Wait, what? What do you mean, Ron? Oh, that's dirty. I thought you already had the third tune. I thought you had the third. It doesn't sort? Wait, what do you mean it doesn't sort? What the heck? Feels naked? Heck yeah, it does. I mean, part of this is like, do you want to keep your opaque tiles even if you can't really use them? It doesn't sort from your perspective. Oh. Oh, so there's still a little bit of ambiguity on what people need. It just sorts it based on opaque and transparent. I guess that's kind of nice. That's kind of nice because it still keeps you guessing a little bit. But it's still dirty. It is still very dirty. And I don't really know what else to do about this. I guess I get rid of you. But yeah, Amazing Digital Circus, I never got into it. I just know the stuff that the fan base is supposedly doing. And it sounds horrible. It sounds absolutely horrible what they're doing to the creator and stuff, to the point that the creator doesn't even care anymore. But you know, sometimes it just happens, and it's kind of sad when it does happen. But does anyone actually enjoy it, like legitimately, without actually getting too involved with the fan base and stuff like that? Legit curious. Legit curious. I don't even know what to do with any of this. I'm just gonna get rid of that. I feel like getting Sue Ankos or anything really, really heavy hitting, Yakuman wise, is kind of gonna be tough here. Like, do you just hit low? Do you just hit low on your hands, or what is it? Zero Sanity is in Ricci right now, but I'm not exactly sure what Zero Sanity wants. Though I think I might hazard a guess. Enjoy the series, don't interact with the fan base, but some fan songs are great. Gotcha. Let's see. What do we do here? What do we do here? I don't know what to do. Screw it. Screw it. I may as well just pick apart my hand at this point. Oof, that was bad. Wait, just 200? Wait, I got hit by 8,000 last time. What the frick? What the frick? Oh no. This mode is not good for my heart. This mode is not good for anyone's heart. I wish there was a Zawa emote. What the heck is this supposed to be? What is the ball chain around Washizu's neck supposed to be? I don't understand that one. Granted, I also watched Takagi a long time ago. And if I remember correctly, they just kind of skipped the entire game because it was so long. I don't think the manga was even done at that point yet. But it was a foregone conclusion, basically what happened. Him spiraling? I guess it could be him spiraling. Anything interesting happening these days that anyone wants to talk about? I know there is the Blue Archive stream happening tomorrow, which we might get some information from. But other than that, new job, old job, things going on in summer. I've been passing out for some reason these days around noonish, not great. And I don't know why. I think it's because when it's what do you call it? It gets pretty warm. And when it gets warm, I tend to get sleepy. Like honestly, if you're having trouble falling asleep, warm up your hands and feet by either like shaking them vigorously before going to bed or taking a warm bath, whichever one you can do. And that is usually enough to help you go to sleep. It's not 100%, but it helps for some reason. But yeah, just the feet and the hands. I saw like a thing about it somewhere. Forgot if it was Twitter or something. I'm not sure. I guess live in a hot place, but just sweating if I do that. Yeah, I guess if you live in like Southeast Asia, but particularly, or someplace where there's no air conditioning, like the UK, then you know, hot bath doesn't sound too, what do you call this, appetizing. But maybe you know, like the light exercise, I'm trying to figure out what Regress wants. Like, I think Regress has a 7 pair. Question is, what part of the 7 pair does he need? Normally I would not be commenting on this, but this is Washizu Mahjong. Your hand is very exposed. So I guess just avoid anything that's somewhat dangerous. But so still surprised about the triple sniper banner. Hope we get a machine gun banner like that someday. Oh, you're talking about Girls Frontline 2, right? I haven't been keeping up with Girls Frontline 2 story-wise or anything like that. I am vaguely aware of happenings though. Ooh, I was waiting for that one. Heard Mahjong is about psychological warfare or something? Honestly, partly, sure. It's definitely a lot... What do you call this? It's definitely a lot harder to, I guess, get your mind around it compared to like poker and stuff. But nice, yeah, psychological warfare definitely is part of it if you know how to do it. Gosh darn, I might be taking my first shot today. They need to add old events faster, because if I tried to catch up, you couldn't. Oh, you mean Girls Frontline 2. So that was a 7 pair. Holy crap, the entire hand is freaking open. Oh man, imagine trying to go for 13 orphans and all your tiles are transparent. Heck, even my tiles are transparent right now, so I don't even know what I'm saying. It's very visible. And even though I gave everyone like 300 seconds to think about their hand, it's a little hard to... It's a little hard to, you know, keep track of everyone's hand. Like, really quickly. Just take stock of what everyone has, what they could go for. I do feel like overall the hand scores are lower in general because of of how open it is. What's for the drink today? I'm still working on the plum wine that I opened. It was either New Year's of this year or New Year's of last year. I know I'm really bad at finishing those bottles, but the thing is I don't drink that much at all. Actually, no, I don't think it was New Year's. No, it wasn't even New Year's. It was a random day that I just found sake and umeshu in Trader Joe's, and I bought both of them. The sake was okay. The sake was okay. Kind of strong though for a daiginjo. And I actually did use that for cooking a couple of times. It's all gone now. The umeshu though has been sitting in the fridge, waiting for an occasion to use it because I just don't drink that much. I don't drink often. I drink whenever I feel social. I'm a social drinker, that's what it is. But surprisingly, when I opened this last time we did Mahjong last month, the taste is more or less the same as it was before. Oh, did I make a recovery? Ipatsu. Oh! Oh my gosh, I think sumo's the only way to win. Oh dang. Where's my Washizu laughter? There we go. I wasn't even aiming for that. I was just kind of hoping to get anything, but pleasantly surprised that I got the Hanuman. God dang, when was the last time I even got a Hanuman? It's been forever. It's been forever. I don't even know what the heck it made it into a Hanuman, if I'm being honest. I guess if there was an Ipatsu there, Ipatsu helped, Sumo helped, Closed Hand helped. So that's 3 already. Let's get rid of that. You can see your entire hand is open, and I think I'm gonna have to bail on some tiles pretty early. Just so I don't play into you. This is Washizu Mahjong. This is what Washizu Mahjong does to your hand. It just opens everything. But then again, you can also see what everyone else has, so you can kind of guess what they have. But trying to work a hand in between there, it's also really funny. You're gonna open Richi. Is open Richi an option for the Akagi mode? Because it was in Akagi itself, but that's more like a local rule than anything. I know there's a head bump. Head bump exists, but I don't know if head bump is only in the event or also available here in the game itself. I know head bump exists because I saw someone pull it off. Other than that, I don't know anything about it. I can't even do my weird offsuit weights because of this. It's too obvious. It's too obvious. This is a funny mode though. If you guys haven't watched Akagi at all, highly recommended. Just for the funnies. Like, you don't need to know Mahjong. Honestly, you can learn Mahjong if you want to. You can learn Mahjong from one of two series. I probably talked about this before, but it's worth talking about again. But for anyone who's not familiar with Mahjong, learn it through Akagi, or learn it through Saki, surprisingly so. At least the very beginning of Saki. After the beginning of Saki, throw everything you know out of the window. Well, the probabilities are skewed, heavily skewed in Saki, but the way they still play is, you know, still very much grounded in reality, kind of. It's just, you know, they bend luck and everything, so it doesn't really help. Yeah, Saki has like weird magic Mahjong stuff going on, so but in the end, at the end of the day, it's still mostly somewhat realistic. I say somewhat realistic. I bet this better not be it. Akagi, on the other hand, is realistic Mahjong. However, there's a lot of cheating that goes on in Akagi. A lot of cheating, because it's Yakuza Mahjong. And if you want to survive the Yakuza, you have to cheat. So it goes. Wait, what? Oh, I didn't think you actually still needed that. Oh. Okay, well, I'll take it. I'll take the cheap hand. Your Mahjong mentors Mudazumo. The Koizumi Mahjong where everyone is, what do you call this? Political leaders. That one's funny. That one's funny, but there's no actual Mahjong that happens in it. It's basically Mahjong power levels. And pure, what do you call it? Pure comedy. But actual Mahjong does not happen in that series. Regress might know where my name comes from, if he's read the series. I don't know if he's ever actually noticed it though. But for Mudazumo, if you imagine this. Political leaders playing Mahjong. The main character is, I guess, someone who used to be in Japanese politics. I think Koizumi. I don't know his full name. I don't think Shinzo Abe was in the thing at all, because I think he was still in power at the time. But George Bush Sr. was there. George Bush Jr. was also there. What else? Putin, of course, Putin, the guy who's always there. Oh crap, I guess I should bail on this one. No wait, I don't think I need to bail on this one. Get rid of it. Two popes apparently also showed up in it. A bunch of other people. And then there's a sequel that no one cares to acknowledge exists. Apparently it's not as good. So, but yeah, it's funny if you can find it. Funny if you can find it. You don't know? Siberian Express is a hand that Putin uses. That's where the name comes from. Kinda obscure. Not gonna take the Dora. Look, do you see what's happening with Zero Sanity's hand right now? I don't think I can take the Dora. I'll take this other door though. Might be able to use that one. But oh geez, everyone has the Tuso. And there's probably a hidden Tuso somewhere. Holding on for dear life. That is basically what's happening in this round at the moment. Jeez, I don't even know what to do about that one. Might have to bail in my hand. Oh, that's dangerous. Oh, that's dangerous. Frick, I'm doing it anyway. Okay. Oh, I wasn't sure if that was gonna pass or not. Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm good. I'm good now. Sure. But yeah. It's just hot. It's... Oh wait, what's going on? Oh, I didn't take a look at the Dora indicators. Oh wow. Is that what we got ourselves into right now? Oh wow. That's not good. That's not good. No wonder a lot of stuff is shining at the moment. Ooh. I'm gonna put something on. Oh. How bad is this gonna hit? Ooh. Ow! Oh, that hurts. Why not give the 2 bamboo? Because I'm scared. That's why. That's why. We went into the south round. Oh, jeez. Wait, what did what did Zero Sanity actually win off of? It didn't even register in my head. I think oh, I don't know. Oh, 7 months, 7 months. Okay. I guess I was kind of safe then. But I was scared of giving up any of the bamboo tiles because of the other people on the table. But maybe I didn't need to be that scared. I am scared now. I am very scared now. Like, holy crap, what am I supposed to do with this? Might just have to bail for this round. Who am I kidding? Bailing is difficult. I never know when to bail in Mahjong unless it's too late. But yeah. Enjoy your gift, Grizz. I wasn't sure if I wasn't gonna give that up, but I figure I may as well. May as well. Let's get rid of this. Gonna put some little light. Oh, what the heck? Guess we'll say goodbye to that one. It's getting really, really hard to try to figure out what the heck to do with this. Oh my gosh, my brain is fried. My brain is fried trying to come up of a way to survive this. It's hard enough in a real game. Like, not a real game, but it's hard enough in a normal game. But Washizu Mahjong just makes it even worse. I don't even know what the general strategy is for Washizu Mahjong. So I'm just kind of like winging it right now. Zero sanity, never getting your green. You know what? Guard that green with your life. I think that's the. I think that's the best thing to do. There's many things that we will never give up just because of how scary this is. Strategies: reading discard pool and read a transparent tiles. Yeah, doing that at the same time, like really quickly, is hard. That's hard. Like, especially in a regular game of Mahjong. Let's say this was real life, in front of everyone. I mean, technically this is more or less the same thing, but if you have like 5 seconds between actions, because there's usually a timer going on and whatnot, then it's tough. Just because everything is transparent, just because you can read everything, doesn't mean it's gonna be quick. I mean, it doesn't mean you can take it all in really quick. Much less understand what the heck is going on. You can kind of get an idea. But it's still not easy. And I probably shouldn't have done that. But we do it anyway. Well, let me see. What do I have here? Well, there goes things. Guess I won't see that 4-so anymore. It's all been used up. That's the funny thing about Mahjong. You can see everything that's happening. And having an exposed open hand is probably not the way to go. What the? Oh, frick. I should have guessed. And I think that was enough to get you to over 3,000. Okay, I'm not last. I'm not last. I didn't think about it. I should have just taken the L for the round. It would have been so much cheaper. Oh my gosh. Anyway, for anyone who wants to go in, here's the next round. Congratulations, 0 sanity. I'm gonna change my thing back to Aru. Aru with the Zawazawa win would be hilarious. Delphi comes in. Do we have a 4th person coming in? Just 0 is fine? Okay, we'll go with 0 then. Ooh, wait, I forgot her name. She's from Saki. I just know she's from Saki. But I forgot her name. It's been so long since I've seen Achigahen. Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen this thing going around? At least it's a meme in JP Twitter Spaces that might actually be real eventually. Akko? We have a lot. We have Akko in Achigahen. We have Aru, Akko, Aru, Mutsuki, Shiroko. I rarely see Shiroko or Mutsuki in the in like open tables, but then again, I don't play that much anyway. Are we gonna go for the blue archive set? Are we gonna go for the blue archive set? Does anyone in the 4th slot possibly have Mutsuki? Welcome, Mirioki. I guess we'll go with Ichihime. Blue Archive set would be pretty fun. I'll take Ichihime any day though. Ichihime is funny. Okay, so what do we do here? Oh, I actually have a lot of opaque ones. Probably can't use any of this. But yeah, anyway, so there's this thing that's I don't know if it's a meme or if it's actually a real thing that people are thinking about. They probably might do it. But you know how scalping's been a huge issue in collector spaces, especially recently? I know Pokemon has a huge scalping issue, and maybe other series have also scalping issues, but there's like quizzes that people are trying to come up with to prevent scalpers from getting said thing they don't know anything about. Like, I don't know how effective that would actually be, but there's this one thing that I saw that someone is actually for One Piece merchandise, 20 questions that even maybe a casual fan would know about One Piece. They have to answer all of them correctly to get said merchandise, or they get nothing. I actually don't know if they have to get all of them correctly, but definitely if they get a failing grade, they probably don't get anything. which is kind of funny. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I feel like there are definitely people who watch anime, not just One Piece, and just very casually watch it at 2 times, 3 times, 8 times speed and don't absorb anything from it and call themselves fans. I don't know what your feelings are regarding said thing, but you know, that's definitely a thing that happens, and that's definitely a thing that happens. If they were to try to get any merchandise for said series just because they like it for the aesthetics and whatnot, but don't know anything about it, they would probably fail said tests. Probably. So it's like, just because you don't know this thing from the series, but I watched it. Yeah, you watched it at times 2 speed. Did you actually absorb anything from it? I don't know. I think the most common thing that was going around in JP Twitter though is like for the series that for the series of interest, the shopkeeper would say something like, tell me a line that this person would say, kind of thing. And if you give them a line that the character would say, they give the item to you. If you don't, they basically kick you out. Makes me think of Twitter, where people were arguing you don't have to play the games to be a fan of the games. I would have to say there is some truth to that. I actually would have to say there's some truth to that. If you think back in Toho, for anyone who's been around for that long, and you know your Toho lore, the Toho fandom lore, a lot of people that got into Toho never actually played any of the games. They either consumed it through fan art, doujins, music, and may have never actually touched the games. Because let's be fair, Toho is very intimidating to get into, the main games. I didn't even touch the main games until the fighting game. I think I didn't even know about Toho until the fighting game. But there's a lot of people that don't touch any of it, apart from like music and stuff. Would you still call them fans? I would probably say yes. I'd probably say yes. I would probably consider anyone who touches any sort of media from the space as possibly fans. And I'm going from that Toho mindset. Yes. So could be debatable, could be not debatable. Not exactly sure. But that's kind of where I'm coming from with that one. But there are people, I guess, that just have seen clips on TikTok or YouTube Shorts. I don't know if that counts. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. But is it on the same level as just consuming the fan art, the music, and other stuff? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there might be a little bit of a double standard, but I guess you have to set up some hard barriers for people. That's the thing. I wouldn't, like, if they don't attempt to play any games or don't even know about the games. Toho fans only know for fan art, not the games. They're normie fans. Yeah, but here's the other thing though. There's a lot of what do you call this? There's a lot of creators specifically that also have never played the games, but they make music out of it. They make remixes out of the music. Would you consider them fans? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you can call them like content creators and whatnot, but there's definitely a lot of people who've done stuff like that. I know we like to hate on tourists and stuff. I do too. But I'm also like, where is the line here? Where is actually the line where it would still probably be acceptable? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's like on a case-by-case basis. As far as Blue Archive though, the barrier of entry for Blue Archive is so low. I feel like you at least have to play the game. You at least have to play the game to be considered a fan. But also, you have to get far enough into a game. Yeah, you have to get far enough into the game to at least be considered, yeah, okay, you know what you're actually doing kind of thing. Need to see them at least a level 80 on their account. At least past level 70. Past level 70, past Eden Treaty. Which I guess isn't that hard of a requirement, but it's also like how much time do you actually want to put into it kind of thing. I probably shouldn't be reaching, but I'm gonna reach you anyway. Because you can see everything! You can see my weights! That was a stupid thing to do, wasn't it? Whatever. Whatever. I'm just gonna hope I get a sumo. I trust in the sumo. Just content grifters to appeal to fan bases they're not fan of. I don't know. I don't know if I can call the old oh wow, trust in the sumo. I don't know if I can call the old content creators of Toho music as content grifters. Because they stuck to it pretty hard. They stuck to it pretty hard. Like, I don't think the people who made... I don't think Iosis actually played the games, but they definitely have hung around the community quite a bit. So I don't know if you can call them content grifters. I don't know. There's definitely a double standard. But there's definitely got to be some benchmarks, I guess. If you're a fan, if you consume at least one media in your franchise is multimedia, just one, and you only enjoy fan art, no. Yeah, I guess if it's just fan art, you can't really say that. For fan art specifically, is there anything I actually that I look at that I like but don't actually wouldn't consider myself a fan of? I guess technically I liked, okay, I used to play Trickle for a little bit. but I didn't. I'm not really far enough into it, and I kind of dropped it at some point. Every once in a while, though, I do like browsing the trickle art, but I wouldn't call myself a fan. I guess in that perspective. Don't know enough about Toho, but I feel like there needs to be a line somewhere. There's definitely a line somewhere. But the line, I feel like, is going to be dependent on the fandom itself. Is all I'm saying. Bro is about pulling those cheeks? Yeah. Why else would you play Trick Cow? To pull those cheeks. Honestly, I tried getting into the story of Tricka. I don't think I can. It's a little bit too simplistic. I'm not exactly sure where it's going. Like, it doesn't hit the same notes as Blue Archive. It doesn't hit the same notes. Definitely not like Limbus Company or anything else like that. It seems to be kind of like aimlessly wandering around, but it's also telling its own slice of life story. But of the things I have played from it, I really don't know where it's going. I just enjoy the cheekiness of it all. Ooh, I did not see that coming. Holy crap, Mirioki is correct. There's also a difference between drawing a character once that's currently popular and doing art for series for years. Yeah, okay, that one I do kind of understand. I have seen that happen. And I feel like also there's like people that don't play the games at all, but definitely enjoy the community regardless. I don't know. I feel like we can go circles around that, but the benchmark is definitely series dependent. I feel like at the end of the day. Anyway, the point was the random tests for getting merch. Some people are seriously considering that, but there are probably other easier ways to do so. I think like for Pokemon cards specifically. For Pokemon cards specifically, I think they started cutting the packs on sale, which would lower the value of the cards in the pack itself. For some people they don't care, but so for other people, let's say you do card opening streams and whatnot, card opening, or you like to open the pack yourself, like at home, probably hurts them a little bit more than it hurts them definitely, as well as the scalpers for sure. Okay, we're gonna get rid of this before things get too hairy. And I do not know what to do with the rest of this freaking hand. I think I'll just die. That's what's gonna happen with this hand. I think I'll just die. Oh, that was dumb. That was super dumb. Should not have done that. This music is more of a bop than I thought it would be. I don't actually think I've listened to it closely. What could Lacats be waiting on? What could Lacats be waiting on? Oh, I can kind of see something. But I'm more worried about Mirioki on the other side of the table. They're scary. They're very scary. You should not have done that. Yeah, you know what? You can have it. You can have it. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Why did I do that? I didn't think too much about it. I'll be perfectly honest. I didn't think that was actually what you were waiting on. But that was a miscalculation on my part. I'm not very good at reading tiles, as you can probably see. Especially now that I know that the transparent and the opaque tiles are sorted like separately on everyone else's end. How the heck am I supposed to know? I don't. I do not. Here's a question. If you had a win that you don't need, but you have a pair or a set of it, well, if you have a set of it, would you keep it or would you just get rid of it? I don't think I've ever figured out what to do with that. Like, people were holding the south tile just now, and I had a pair of south at the beginning of the game. But I don't need it. I'm in the north seat. So I don't feel like I could use that in my hand unless my hand was already mostly complete. So what I tend to do is get rid of those. But I don't know what the general consensus is regarding that. Do you keep them? Do you try to work with it? Or do you get rid of them? Because you can't really use it. But yeah, that's kind of what happened there. Mostly sometimes you want to fold and save the least worth tile for emergency throws. Ah. Can be pair for pin food, decent weight for shampoo. I didn't think about that. I'm gonna have to probably work on that in the future. And yeah, I figured I'd get rid of that green tile as soon as possible before things got way too hairy. Okay. What do? Sometimes you drop it for Tanya pivot or if you have a surplus of blocks. Yeah, I think it's usually for a surplus. That's when it would happen. Yeah, maybe this is like one of those times. Maybe I could have actually used it. Man, I wish I reached. I wish I reached. Did not suspect a thing. Ah, jeez. Well, thank you for the donations, Delphi. Thank you. I will make sure to try not to lose the 1,300 points as best as I can. It's gonna be tough, though. It's gonna be very tough. The Hoshino emotes are pretty cute. The auto emotes are funny. I like those quite a bit. Bail, bail, bail. Okay. Oh, wow. Really, game? I don't know what to do with this. There's too much zawa zawa happening here. I guess even with transparent tiles. If you don't feel the tile coming, you can still discard an entire dragon set. That does happen. Huh. Trying to use all my brain power, trying to figure out what to do. And trying to come up with a yapping topic at the same time. The gears are turning. The gears are turning very slowly, but they are turning nonetheless. Or at least trying to turn. Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. Oh. Oh. That's not good. When am I gonna go to Japan? I am going to Japan at the beginning of August. I already know what routes I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna keep that part a secret though, so that I at least have a story to tell when I get back. But yeah, it's gonna be at the beginning of August. It's gonna be for about a couple of weeks. Oh wow, I wasn't sure that was pass or not. Yeah, and I'm hoping to see a festival while I'm over there. The main reason to go around summer is for the festivals. Then again, there's one festival that I've always wanted to go to, which is in Aomori, the Aomori Nebita Festival. But whenever it gets near festival time, the hotels are always so booked out. They're either booked out or there's a hotel left over. The prices are jacked up sky high. It is absolutely crazy. Hire a tour guide? No, I never do tour guides if I can help it. Like, I think the only time I've actually done a tour guide is in Korea for the DMZ, the Demilitarized Zone. Like, you could go to the DMZ in Korea without a tour guide, but it's a bit more of a hassle. So I don't think most people do that unless they're what the frick? Ah. Yeah, okay, I wouldn't have guessed that, the cats. I wouldn't have guessed that. Oh. Were you also happen to be waiting on a 5-pin? Because I had a 5-pin that I could have discarded. Congratulations, though. Couldn't make back points. And Mirioki dropped. Thanks for playing, Mirioki. Waiting on the 14-pin? Okay, let me get the link again. I mean, I guess you can also just type in the number. The number's up top. But I'm gonna try to yap while we wait for the room to fill in. We still got a little bit of time today. 1 and 4p, not 14p. Okay. Yeah, there's no such thing as a 14p. I would hope not. But yeah, as far as Japan goes, or at least whenever I do travel, I don't like doing tour guides because tour guides, other than the fact that they cost money, like more money than it would be if you went to the places themselves. Like, I get it. The point of the tour guide is to show you like the highlights of the place you're gonna go to and maybe show you some stuff that you might not know about. That's probably better for like small group stuff. And there's probably a few tours that I might be willing to do, like a food tour of like little hidden spots in town and stuff. But what's the difference between that and me looking up in Google Maps and just poking around the neighborhood and seeing what is available and what's not available? But for the most part, I just typically go around myself. There's some like landmarks that I already know I want to go to and do. But as far as exploring, I usually do that on my own. Can you speak Japanese, or will there be anyone to translate for you? I can speak some Japanese. It's not my first time in Japan. It's definitely not my first time in Japan. I think this would be my 10th time? I'm gonna say it's my 10th time in Japan. It's either my 9th or 10th time. I've lost track at this point. And the last time I went was last year around September, late September to early November. For about a couple of months. And I was traveling solo around that time. A solid 8 weeks of traveling. And I already knew some Japanese before then. I've been speaking Japanese on and off during travels. I'm the one who kind of, for the most part, navigates everything. So I'm not new to it. Let's just say I'm not new to it. But yeah, I've driven there a few times already. I've definitely I've also gone into like local shops, talked to locals also in broken Japanese, but was able to hold a conversation and met some really interesting people along the way. And there's definitely some people, there's definitely some people over that I've met that are like, they can speak English. They say you look like a local too. I think there's definitely some Japanese people who have looked at me and didn't think twice if I was local or not. But there's also some people that could tell right away I am not Japanese. But the default language when people speak to me, I guess it's generally the same for everyone. Unless you're like Caucasian. They speak in Japanese first, and then if they get that I don't quite understand what they're saying, they try to speak to English. But if not, I try my best also to speak in Japanese. For the longest time, I didn't know what the word for plastic bag was. I think it was sokuburo. And whenever they bring that up, like let's say in a convenience store, it goes by super fast. So I have a hard time picking up on it. But I eventually learned. And I kind of have it in the back of my mind, they're gonna ask me about this next. And I just make sure I say yes or no to that. Or to avoid that completely, I just have a reusable bag with me. Most of the schools teach English. That's not surprising, but most students can't get the accent right. I think the main issue with Japanese people and trying to speak English is that they're not confident. They're not confident speaking English, so they have a hard time getting the words out. It's the same thing for me, actually. Unless I'm actually in Japan, it's hard for me to speak Japanese. I already have a really hard time reading Japanese, but speaking Japanese, I have a hard time doing it unless I'm over there already, and then it feels a little bit more natural, and it's easier to get used to it. But yeah, for the most part, most people that I've met, it's a confidence issue. However, I've also met quite a number of Japanese people that have surprisingly good English. And for the most part, they seem to be older gentlemen, let's just say. Older people. I don't think I've actually talked to young people in general. When I say young people, 30 and under. I don't... Whenever in the 2 months of travel that I did last year, anyone who was 30 and under, I generally do not... I haven't really spoken to. It doesn't usually come up that I am able to speak with them. Maybe one time it actually did happen. Which was in Kamakura in a local restaurant next to one of the smaller shrines. Because Kamakura is known as the city with a bunch of shrines, as well as a beach, but mostly they know it for the shrines and stuff. Shrines and temples. But it was a local restaurant, open for lunch, and I was heading to this one particular was it a shrine or was it a temple? I think it was a shrine. I was going to this one particular place and needed to get something to eat because it was in the middle of the day. It was and I was hungry already. It was time to eat. And so I just dropped by a local area, and basically it was full. It was basically full. But there was one spot left in the counter. And they asked me how many people, the usual, and they led me to the counter. No menu anywhere that I could see, so that's another hard thing. Some local places do not have a menu. And so it's a little harder to figure out what to get. The menu was outside, so I had to like figure out really quickly which one I wanted to get. So there was that. But the person next to me could easily tell that I wasn't from around there. I was sweating. I was sweating from walking around, and what do you call this? You know, most people that come in probably aren't quite as sweaty as I am. And I definitely look a little on closer inspection different from a typical Japanese person. Then again, I feel like me now compared to, let's say, 10 years ago, I look less Japanese now than I did before. Before, I could kind of sneak in, but these days I filled out a little bit, let's just say, and it's a little bit harder to disguise myself physically. I do dress like a Japanese person though. Not because I'm trying to like dress like a Japanese person, it just kind of happens that that's my style. Like what you see on screen right now, that's basically how I dress. T-shirt, jacket, pants, and a hat. So I guess I have the casual Japanese style, but in my mind, that's not what I'm dressing as. In my mind, when I first picked the style I picked right now, that is the journalist / photographer style, because I do take a lot of pictures when I travel, and that's just the general vibe that I like to show people when I'm out and about. But yeah, I guess I still looked a little bit different. But there were definitely some people from that restaurant as I was eating that knew more English than I expected. And some of them learned it because they were used to like tourists and stuff, talk to some tourists, but also the majority of the older people in general, they learned English because they were transferred, I think, or had to work overseas. So if they were transferred to America, they had to learn English, right? Otherwise, they couldn't get around too well. And that's the majority of the older people's experience in speaking English. I've met them in Kamakura twice. I've met one in Hakodate in the public bath. I've met another one in Tsuruoka in another local restaurant. And I've also met one in Osaka in an okonomiyaki restaurant. And there was also, I mean, I only had a 4so that I was waiting on. There was no other way. But good job in avoiding that. And then there was I guess the landlady. Well, there were two landladies I met during last year. One of them didn't speak much to me, but they were both nice. She didn't speak much to me, and what do you call this? She could speak some English. But the one I met in Kamakura, holy crap. Holy crap, she was not Kamakura, Kagoshima, she was a talker. She basically spoke passion English, and she probably, since she ran the place, she probably ran into a bunch of foreigners already, renting the place out for like their stays there. So, and probably the best host I've ever had, let's just say. She was a nice old lady. Talked a lot. Talked in English first before she talked in Japanese, which is interesting. But no. Yeah, I mean, the main thing is I do know my way around Japan. I've spoken a little bit. I can get by with basic phrases and even basic sentences. Can't go too much deeper than that. But I'm trying to learn from the translation stuff I've been doing recently. I know more from listening than I do reading, so my reading is definitely the weakest part. So, trying to improve on both of those at the same time. But yeah, I'm quite okay doing that. During my school trip to Kyoto, me and other students had a group objective to try to ask questions in English to foreigners. Oh, I guess that was like a really long time ago, huh? Because I think these days, the students don't really go to Kyoto anymore. They go to other places. I think they tend to go more towards Kanazawa and other smaller areas, because Kyoto is way too busy these days. Way too many tourists on all times of the year except for maybe winter, and no one wants to go to Kyoto during winter. At least I hope not. But I also have seen quite a few students go to Hawaii. At least whenever I go to the airport, there's usually some line of students somewhere. Probably one of the richer schools, I guess. And they're usually lined up to go to a flight to Hawaii or something like that. And I've never been to Hawaii myself, so maybe one of these days I should actually do that. Try to ask questions in English. Kind of embroidered. Wait. Was this embroidery thing? It was kind of embroidered because the guy was German, couldn't speak English well, so the guy's friends came to help speak us. Yeah, not all foreigners can speak English. I think that's the other thing that some Japanese people probably don't expect. Like, especially if they're from Europe. Like, you would think people from Europe would be able to speak at least in English in their local language. But there are definitely some people who only know their local language. Like, I think French, German, generally. But yeah, it's kind of funny how that works out, doesn't it? You probably have a better luck with people knowing English that are not American or European if they came from like Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia, maybe even Korea. And then maybe even Taiwan, though I think the Taiwanese tend to speak more Chinese than they do English, so. Could never fault JPP for people for being bad at English compared to how many Americans speak only English. Yeah, no, I don't fault I don't fault them for it. I don't fault them for it. If anything, okay, if anything, the people coming in to visit should know at least a few phrases. I don't expect them to know the language. That's kind of tough, even if it's, especially if it's your first or maybe even only time to go there. Because there are a lot of people who want to visit Japan but can't, because even though the Japanese yen is compared to the dollar anyway, not doing as well. It's what do you call this? It's still not cheap. It's not easy to get in, especially if you're coming from Southeast Asia. It's not only the cost issue, there's also the visa issue, so not very easy to get in. Even if it's not Southeast Asia, let's say you're coming from somewhere else that's not as affluent, let's just say. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. But yeah, I don't fault the Japanese people for not knowing English. They don't really need to. But it might probably help them if they want to go outside Japan. But same thing, I guess. I guess English is more of a English is more of a national international language. So it's a lot easier, I guess, for a lot of people if you know English. I don't know if that's gonna change in the next few years though, with Chinese and stuff like that. Part of me refuses to learn Chinese, but at the same time, Chinese is a pain in the butt. Tonal language, your tone, despite saying the same word in different tones, can change it. What the heck? That doesn't seem that doesn't seem like an easy thing to learn. So I would rather not. I would rather not. But yeah. No, I've been learning Japanese pretty much ever since I want to say maybe middle school or high school, but not like seriously. I didn't start seriously trying to learn it until like maybe a few years ago. More of a casual learner, more of a passive learner. Most of my Japanese learning before my first trip in Japan in 2015 came from anime. But I'm not, that sounds bad, but honestly, whatever way you learn is probably okay, as long as you know like a few quirks about it. Like, there are definitely people who learned English from just watching movies and sitcoms. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, but I probably would remind those people, maybe don't say certain words that you learn from movies and such, because they're not good to use in certain company. Let's just say. I found out. Well, I didn't ever get scolded for this, but I think I learned in the back of my head I probably said something I wasn't supposed to say, and I'm still haunted by it to this day. I moved to the United States when I was, what do you call this? When I was in 2nd or 3rd grade, probably, I think 3rd grade. And I already knew English before then. learned it from school. Also, yeah, basically learned it from school. So I already knew English before then. However, I didn't know some of the nuances of some of the English. I watched all the movies that we watched at the time, always in English. So that's not too unusual. However, during PE, in a very heated moment of crab game, if you're not familiar with this, is not anything like Squid Game. It is basically kicking a ball into the air while positioned like a crab backwards on the gym floor. So you're crawling on the gym floor like a crab. That's why it's called crab game. And kicking the ball into the air to I don't remember what the objective of the game was. You're supposed to get points from kicking into like a goal or something. But I don't remember how it goes. But anyway, I got super heated during that time. And I also watched a lot of Back to the Future. Back to the Future was my favorite movie as a kid. At the age of 7, 8, 9, I forget exactly how old I was at the time. And you know, I may have said a line in Back to the Future out of in the heat of the moment. I said bastard or something very, very loudly, and that seemed to silence the room, the entire gym room. And I didn't know what it meant. As a kid, I didn't know what it meant. Coming from a different country, I didn't know what it meant. I was never brought in about it, or maybe if I did, I don't remember it at all. I don't remember any conversations regarding it, to be honest, but I felt like I did something I wasn't supposed to. And I never actually said it afterwards. So, let's just say, yeah, some words you should not be saying, and if you don't, well, as a kid you don't know that. I feel like as a kid you don't know that. And then of course I don't think I ever got culture shock necessarily, but no, I did get some culture shock, but I didn't recognize it as culture shock. Let's just say. Oh wait, who won? Zero Santi? Zero? Thank you. Congratulations, sorry. my mind is going all over the place right now. Did I get 4th place? I need to know, did I get 4th place? I haven't taken a shot today yet, and I feel like I need a shot regardless or not I got 4th place. You said some embarrassing things in elementary school before? Yeah, but it's probably in well, no. It's fine if it was in Japanese or not. I'm the one in 4th place? Fine. You know what? I need a drink. I need a drink. It's been an hour and a half. We probably have a time for 1 or 2 more games. And I haven't had a drink yet because I haven't hit 4th. Which I wholly expected to hit 4th at least once because this is Washizu Mahjong. How do you guys like Washizu Mahjong, by the way? It feels weird. It feels dangerous. But at the same time, it's kind of fun. It probably forces you to learn... It probably forces you to learn the game in a different way. Like, learn the hands a little bit better. Sure, you can see everyone's hands too, but also learn the discards. It is hard, isn't it? It is very hard. It was... What is it? Something. It was while you were in classroom in 3rd grade. Mine turned off. My mind turned off as soon as the conversation started going. Ah, Oppai. Oppai. Right. Despair when struck with a tile you definitely don't want to discard. Yeah, that's definitely Washizu Mahjong. Especially since you probably could have seen it coming, but you didn't. Wow, this plum wine is still good. Most plum wine that I've had, if you leave them for too long in the fridge, they tend to just be like super sweet and no alcohol feeling to it. I think this one's starting to sweeten up a little bit. But it doesn't sweeten up as fast as the Choya ones do. The Choya ones, especially the ones with the fruit in it, they tend to sweeten up super quickly. And it becomes too sweet to drink. Way too sweet. But this one, what is the brand of this one that I think about it? This umeshu is crap. I don't think I know this kanji. What is it called? Oh, never mind. It's called From the House of Gekikan. Gekikan, Japanese plum Gekikan. I don't know. Yeah, Gekikan sake. Gekikan umeshu. 13% alcohol, 750 mLs, product of Japan. Nothing else. I'm looking for a date. I don't see a date. I wish I rolled for all the other Blue Archive characters. I didn't think about it at the time. I didn't really want to put money into it because the first time I tried to roll in Mahjong Soul was just for any random character. I got this girl, the Rage Gamer, and it took me 100 rolls just to get her. And I was a little bit burned from that because I also spent money to get my first skin. So from now on, I just kind of use free tickets, or at least whatever cheap thing I can get at the time. But I think I made up some of my Mahjong Soul luck today in the gacha because we got Washizu and Akagi in 5 rolls. That's kind of crazy. Akagi in the first one, and then Washizu in the 5th one. Like, what the heck? That's not normal. What I do want to see though is a Saki collab back. I don't think we'll get another Blue Archive collab because the should I just call them what they are? Should I just call them what they are? The people who are so scared of being NTR'd in China made sure we did not get another Blue Archive collab. Yeah, whatever that emote. You would think it would be Korea who would be complaining about it, but no, it was China. It was China of all people. I think everyone else was pretty cool about it. I was definitely cool about it. I don't get butthurt over that kind of stuff. I don't understand people getting butthurt over the perceived NTR thing. I feel like it's a Chinese thing mainly. It was mainly a Chinese thing because they were very vocal about it with Blue Archive. They were also very vocal about it in Girls Frontline 2. For anyone who played Girls Frontline 2, you probably know about the Raymond story. And that those were the Chinese players, for sure. Because that wasn't out anywhere else at the time yet, so... Heard about the Blue Archive NTR stuff? Yeah, it's the Chinese players. They're very insecure. They're very insecure. You thought the Korean players were insecure? The Chinese players are more insecure. Now, it might not be widespread. It usually isn't, but it's definitely a significant portion of the player base over there. Which is kind of funny when you think about the Hoyo stuff, because that's also a Chinese set of games. So I guess unless it's not a mixed gender gacha, it doesn't really matter. Alright. Ooh, who's this one? The cats, who is this? I don't think I've seen them before. Is this a Mahjong Soul character or is it a collab character? Hinanawa Ichikawa. From which series? Let me see. Hinana Ichikawa. Oh, wait, there was an Idol Master collab? Wait, when was the Idol Master collab? I didn't know there was one. And this one is from Shiny Colors. Huh. Okay. Usually when people make a collab with Idol Masters, usually Cinderella Girls, though I think these days it's less Cinderella Girls. They're doing more Shiny Colors. I don't know anyone from Shiny Colors. I don't know anyone from Gakumas. Actually, no. I think I know one person from Shiny Colors. I don't know if, wait. Who is that one anorexic looking girl? Who is that one anorexic looking girl that's supposed to be like a genius or whatnot? Huge forehead, really pale skin and hair. Don't know her name. I have seen doujins of her though. I think her name has an H in it somewhere. Let me see. Shiny Colors. I don't see her. Did we freeze? Of course it starts with doujins. Of course it starts with fan art. Fan art and doujins are how you get people started on a series usually. Not always, but usually. Like there's definitely some people who didn't care about Blue Archive until the bunny suits for CNC started. I played before then. I didn't come when the bunny suit. I didn't come back when the bunny suits came up though. But for some people it worked. For some people it worked. I'm trying to find this girl. But maybe it was in Gakumas. Gakuen Idol Master? Am I an OG? According to Twitter, I'm pretty close to being OG. Because I have a 5-digit user ID in global. I think I'm in the 18,000s. So pretty close. I know some people have 4-digit IDs, which is amazing. Oh, it's a Gakuma's character. Shinosawa Hiro. Shinosawa Hiro is the girl's name. I don't know if that rings a bell with anyone. But if Gakumas ever goes to global, I might give it a try. Yeah, I know Lecats has a 4-digit ID. I have seen it. What do I do here? Oh crap, I didn't... Wait, I would not have guessed. I actually would not have guessed. Oh crap, ouch. Can you imagine Washizu Mahjong in 3-player mode? I think we would all die. I remember the cats being super cracked in Sanma. I do not want to face it again. At least not anytime soon. At least not during Washizu Mahjong. Normal Mahjong, I'll think about it. Washizu Mahjong, no, I will die. I will die. You're scary in Sanma. You are very scary in Sanma. I don't even know how that happens. Sanma is already crazy as it is. Because you get hands pretty easily, and the points are sky high. but some people are crazier, and I'm scared of them. Were the bunny CNC popular? I mean, I don't know what Blue Archive's reputation was before the bunny CNCs came up. But if I remember correctly, they weren't really doing too well. Like the gacha wasn't doing too well, and CNC kind of saved it. But I think these days they don't need to do that kind of thing anymore. They go for other fan service, which is fine. Wish I pulled during the Miku collab. I don't even remember when the Miku collab was. I may have heard about the Miku collab at the end of when it happened. I wasn't playing Blue Archive at the time. I was on my break from Blue Archive. I came back... When did I come back to Blue Archive? It was a couple of years ago when I started coming back to Blue Archive. I think it might have been Fest at the time. Or... Oh no, it wasn't... I don't think it was Fest necessarily. What was happening at the time was the Iroha banner was coming around. And I didn't have Iroha yet, and I really wanted Iroha, so I decided to reinstall Blue Archive. And started playing from there, and I started reading the story too. Partly to get the the currency, but also partly to just check out the story. And I got super interested in it, and I posted my reactions on Twitter, but wasn't actually convinced to stream it until much later. But I do want to go back at the beginning of the game though, so that we actually have records of that on the channel. It's just right now it's a little tough to go back to the beginning. We did start, but when we do go back, it's gonna be the Korean dubbing, because I want to hear how the Korean dubbing sounds for everything up to the Eden Treaty. Okay, well, that was gonna happen. That is such an Akko hand, what the heck? Not exactly fast and cheap, but it is a fast hand. I think I may have stopped playing Blue Archive when the Saiba twins came out. Like, I got both Momo and Midori at the time, and I think I was also playing Girls Frontline, the first one, and Princess Connect, the JP version. I was playing Princess Connect and Girls Frontline 1 at the time. And at the time, the reason why I quit Blue Archive wasn't necessarily like the story or anything, but because the sound effects for the guns didn't hit quite as hard in Blue Archive compared to Girls Frontline. And I was really into Girls Frontline at the time. So that's why I quit, to go back to my Girls Frontline dolls and hear them shoot it up. And then when did I quit Girls Frontline? The first one. I don't remember. I'm definitely way behind on that now compared to everything else. I think the gun sounds in Girls Frontline were somewhat more accurate than the gun sounds in Blue Archive. Because Blue Archive came at a time when Girls Frontline was popular, Princess Connect was also popular. I think Kantai Collection was also still pretty popular at the time. And the devs took basically Princess Connect and Girls Frontline and put it together for Blue Archive. Though I think originally they wanted to make it more XCOM-like, because I think the Project MX was supposed to be Moe XCOM or something like that. And I didn't even know about the project name until much later. Like, I think there's still some beta footage of Blue Archive floating around, so you can definitely look that up if you want to see how that was. I think before you could actually assign the students in the front row or the back row, so there, in that sense, it was a little bit like Girls Frontline, because in Girls Frontline, you could arrange your units in certain formations to make them more effective in battle, and there's definitely some set formations to use. So I'm assuming the Blue Archive devs were kind of shooting for that, but made it a lot more simple at the end of the day, which isn't bad. I just wish they could do something to expand on the game, or like make a Blue Archive 2 with somewhat more interesting mechanics, but also light on time like it is right now. Project RX is coming up though. Yeah, Project RX is coming up. I'm excited for that one. I'm also excited for Astra Horatio, the other Blue Archive devs, who is now with what is that company? NC? Who's mainly known for MMOs and stuff. So I'm waiting on both of those. And I'm definitely gonna try both of those when they do come up. NCSoft, thank you. I will try both of them. I may have to pick between the both of them at the end of the day, because I can't have too many gachas. But, yeah, we'll see. What about the Cedar military game? I'll take a look into Cedar also, but from what I saw of the Cedar gameplay, it looks very involved, which is not something what I'm looking for at the moment. And from my experience with a bunch of Chinese gacha in general, they demand a lot of your time when you play them. Like, not necessarily gameplay, but more so all the different amount of chores that you have to do for your dailies and stuff. That's what I mostly mean. I like my dailies to be on the light side. Like, I would have stayed with Stella Sora if the gameplay was a little bit more interesting, but as far as the dailies, it was pretty quick. So no complaints on that. It's just right now with Stella Sora, there's the way you make your team. I get that the main game is like this roguelike mode where you build your team up like you would in Uma Musume for the stats and whatnot, but it's too heavily RNG based, and didn't really quite like that. On the other hand, I drop Uma Musume because holy crap, that takes 30 minutes to do one daily. And then even more time now with a new mode. Holy crap, like Cats is drying me. What the heck? I know I run into it every single time, but he is drying me. Ananta? Oh, that's the 3D one. Okay, I'm gonna take another shot, even though it's at the end of the gaming stuff right now. Thanks everyone for playing. Congratulations, the Cats, on your win. I'm gonna keep on yapping though, because I want to talk a little bit more. But yeah, the Chinese gachas, I feel like demand a lot of your time with tiny little chores that add up to eating a bunch of time when you play. It's funny though. It's funny I say that because I don't know, I feel like that's just what I've seen. Unless there's a Chinese gacha out there that doesn't actually do that. But all those tiny little chores, even though maybe each one doesn't really take up a whole lot of time, they add up. I also dropped Trick Cow for the same reason, and that's not a Chinese gacha, that's a Korean gacha. But with Trick Cow, holy freaking crap, there's so many screens that you have to go through to do every single little daily. Or even if it's not part of the daily, it's part of the stuff that you have to check, like resources building up. It's Trick Cow is like part idle game and part like Princess Connect gameplay, which is also kind of like Blue Archive gameplay. And they have this thing that builds resources as it goes through the day. However, the timer for those resources is like every 10 or 12 hours. You can keep increasing it by doing like research in the game. However, the materials to increase said research, to level up the research so you can increase the cap on the passive resources, is a gigantic grind and not very fun to do. So that, all the little bits, generous gacha, but really, really bad dailies. Really, really bad dailies. So I had to drop it because of that. Gotta get into character Ruka. I'm playing Aku right now. the fast cheap hands. Didn't lose, didn't win either. Heard another gacha got EOS, but apparently it's relaunching. Don't know what it's called. I think it might have been Snowbreak. I know Snowbreak had an issue in China, especially when the... I want to say Love and Deep Space fans, but it's not necessarily them. It's more like the feminist, I guess? I know you hear about the radical feminists in Korea a lot, but I think they also have something similar in China. And the weird censorship laws they have in China and Korea, I guess, but mostly in China. Because any game that goes into China has to be censored. Even Blue Archive gets censored somehow, to a degree. So... but I think Snowbreak is EOSing for sure. And they are gonna relaunch as something else. Either that, there's also... I know there's another game that's EOSing. It's... let me double check. I posted it in the friend Discord recently. It was Counterside. So Counterside is a Korean gacha game. I played a little bit when it first came out. It plays a bit weird. It's like a tower defense, but it's like a sideways tower defense where you have like a base on each side. If you played Battle Cat, it's like Battle Cats actually. I didn't think about that. But Counterside plays like Battle Cats does. So that one's EOSing. I don't know if they're doing anything as far as relaunching into something else. It might have been that one. Age of War, I'm not sure about Age of War. Limbus C event drama. What is the Limbus C event drama? I don't know what the Limbus C event drama is. What was... crap. The alcohol is starting to hit my head, but I'm trying to think of something. But no, as far as gachas I do want to try out, it's going to be Asta Orashio. And if you haven't seen Asta Orashio, I guess I can probably show a few of that stuff on screen. Let me get the Twitter up. Let's see. Project RX, we've only seen a couple of videos, and that's really about it. I don't think we got anything new from that. I think both of them are going to be 3D games though. At least 3D turn-based is from what it looks like. Asta Orashio is definitely going to be 3D turn-based, and the battle system looks interesting. Battle system's interesting. Let me see if I can get this up here. Go here, go here. There we go. So they've been showing a bunch of NPCs. They even showed the MC MC is basically an office worker. You do get to see his face eventually, but for some reason they censored it here. This is the first character you're supposed to get, the doll character with a very visible pantsu, but it's basically just actually a mannequin doll. I think a sentient mannequin doll, and she's what they used in the trailer to showcase some of the gameplay. This is our boss. This is our boss in her, I guess, magician outfit, which is the kimono stuff. This is us as a cat for some reason. Really BA coded art style. I mean, it's the same. It's basically the people who left IO division, the main Blue Archive devs. Or I guess there's the part that defected, so to say. Whatever your feelings on that, it's gonna be BA coded. I'm very curious though. Like, some people don't want to have anything to do with this because the people that defected. Me though, I'm more interested in the story. What can you tell me about the story? The art style and gameplay look interesting already. Now sell me on the story. And I'm always up for a good story that I can get into. The main theme, from what I'm understanding from all the promo materials though, is a little bit of burnout, a little bit of a midlife crisis, and that resonates quite a bit with me, especially with this guy. This is the MC here. And then magic for possibility of a new future. Seems pretty simple enough, right? Seems pretty simple enough, while Blue Archive is like trying to preserve the everyday life with students and whatnot. I can tell you already, the director over here is gonna get so many dojins. She's gonna get so many dojins. This one's also gonna get so many dojins. The other MCs, like this girl, I don't know if she's gonna get some. We'll see. She seems very Hifumi coded to me though. I don't think she's necessarily tsundere, but definitely looks interesting enough. Lalafels, I think these are the elves in the game, so they're actually called elves in the game. And it's more the short elves rather than the tall elves, so these are like the Santa elf kind of things. But I'm very interested to see where they take it. The gameplay is interesting also. I did make a review on the channel if you want to check out my thoughts on it. I do go frame by frame through the trailer that was released not too long ago. Modern day fantasy type style. You say modern day fantasy and you would not be wrong, but at the same time, it's not quite modern day, because the weird thing here is it's supposed to be 1889. 1889 Tokyo. This. Now, in 1889 in Tokyo, definitely did not have the same level of technology as we do now. However, I did look at some old pictures of what that era may have looked like, and they're not too terribly far behind. It kind of looks like the 1950s in style. It definitely looks like. Let me get some pictures of what 1950s. I put some, I think. 1889 Tokyo. What did 1889 Tokyo look like? Not the pictures I saw. 1900s Tokyo. You know what? Good enough. I'll take this one. I think if you watched Demon Slayer, that's probably in the 1950s, I think. But 1900s Tokyo didn't look too terribly bad. Definitely not as advanced as modern day Tokyo, which is what this is. But in 1889, Also, there's a different timeline, by the way. There's a whole different timeline because I think 1889 is supposed to be the Meiji era, but this is, I think, the Reiji era, not Reiwa, Reiji. Reiji 7, Reiji 9, I think Reiji 7. So it's a whole different timeline altogether. It's definitely an alternate history kind of thing. And I'm very curious what they plan to do with that. Now, Project RX. Project RX, we only had that one trailer from back then. It's also a 3D game. But I don't think we know how the exploration goes or anything like that. Even their Twitter right now. The Twitter only recently launched. And this is all stuff we've seen before. We haven't seen... I don't think they put the trailer up here. But no halos, they don't look like students, they look more like regular people. So that's gonna be an interesting take on it. I still wish Project KV didn't die, but maybe we only need one Halo game in the world, I feel. Kind of like Reverse 1999. I feel like Reverse 1999. I like Reverse 1999 when I played it. I would have still kept playing it if if it didn't get so busy. Like, there's so much stuff in Reverse 1999 to do now, but I really like the aesthetic and I like the gameplay. The story barely made sense though, but I like the vibe of it. But no, Reverse 1999 is more based on history and all that stuff. Definitely very more style based. Meanwhile, Project RX is this. Unless you were talking about Astra Ratio. Astra Ratio is very magic based. Like, there's different magics from different corners of the world that they talk about. But I think they're all like gathering in Tokyo because it's like the most population in the world in one city at a time. And I think that's true. It was true back then, it's still true now. I looked at the population count of 1889 Tokyo and 1889 New York City, which is probably the next closest largest city. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even close. I think New York City at the time barely had 1 million people, or maybe even barely 2 million people in real life. And Tokyo at the time had something like at least 20 million people. And these days, Tokyo population, the Tokyo Metroplex area. Oh no. Wait, did I get that right? It's 14 million people now. Wait, did I get that right? It's still huge though, it's still huge. Tokyo's population back in 1889 was still bigger than New York City in 1889. And even now, I think New York City population is 8.5 million people roughly. Wait, estimated population 8.5 million, broader metropolitan area has 19.29. I feel like Tokyo has more. I feel like Tokyo has more. I could be wrong. Tokyo population 14 million. Okay. Maybe New York City has more these days, but it doesn't feel like it sometimes. It's still a lot of people. But story-wise, that's where the most people are. So that's where all the magicians gather, because the more people there are in an area, the apparently more magical power according to the trailers. So that's why they justify Tokyo, which historically speaking is also still correct. That's probably about the only thing that's historically accurate with the game. Maybe the Paris Expo also happened at that time, but I didn't look into it that far. I just know alternate history stuff. Really curious to see what that's about. Project RX, we don't know what the theme of Project RX is yet, but the character designs in Project RX is also pretty good. It's also pretty good. I mean, look at this. We're not getting to Chinese gacha levels of complexity with this. This is still fairly simple compared to, say, what you would see in any Hoyo game. I feel like the Hoyo characters are a little bit over-designed. The characters in Stella Sora are kind of bordering on almost over-designed sometimes. For the most part, it's okay. For the most part, it's okay. It's fairly simple. But, yes. You need to be able to have fan artists also draw these. It's like some of the VTuber designs out there that are so complicated that if you were an artist trying to draw them, it'd be very difficult to draw because you have to add all the little details and try not to forget the little details. The main thing that people forget in Blue Archive when they draw the characters isn't necessarily the details of the character designs. No, it's the halos. It's the halos, right? I mean, I've on the few times I've tried to draw Blue Archive characters, I forget the halos too. I forget those are there. But to be fair, I feel like the students also forget that they have halos sometimes. They're aware they have halos. I feel like they forget they have them because it's such a part of them that they don't think about it. So maybe it's kind of the same way. Maybe it is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to those two. I think supposedly at least Astra Horatio is supposed to come out this year because there's slowly trickling in the media, not the fan art, the character info and such. Project RX, we are waiting. We are hoping for more news, and I think they will maybe give more news. Surprisingly, let me double check. Well, it's weird. Project RX has a booth in Anime Expo. I'm not going to go to Anime Expo, but they have a booth in Anime Expo. But if they don't show any new info, the only thing they have to show for is these screens, as well as the trailer that they showed a long time ago. But they've been very, very tight-lipped with anything past those. So it'd be very weird if they announced anything at Anime Expo. In Japan? No. Anime Expo in California. Yeah, LA. Anaheim, California, in LA. I went to Anime Expo once a very long time ago. Like maybe 20 years ago. And it was busy then. And it's probably a lot busier now. And I don't know if Japan has anything like anime conventions. I know Japan has like comic markets. You have Comiket and then the smaller doujin events. But I don't know if they have anything on the level of, let's say, Anime Expo or the various anime conventions that are in the US and even other places in around the world. The way anime conventions work in the US is there's it's basically the culture is very different. Rigris can tell you about a little bit about this because he used to work in the merchant section of the anime conventions, selling stuff that came from Japan. But the culture is very different. And while the doujin markets in Japan are mainly focused on selling the the self-published works, hence doujinshi, self-published stuff, the books, the goods, that kind of things, and there might be some corporate stuff on the side, but they're usually in a separate area. It's mostly about the fans there, right? The fans, the creators and stuff. That's what the the comic markets are. In the US and basically anywhere else in the world, the anime conventions are mostly, think about a regular convention for like say a scientific convention or political convention, that kind of thing. They're mainly focused on like panels, like different panels in different rooms talking about different topics. Yes, there is cosplay. Yes, there is an artist alley where they sell the fan dojin stuff. Yes, there is a merchant alley where shops set up to sell you stuff separate from the artist alley stuff. However, the main thing is the panels. The panels can range from individual panels that people sign up for that they want to talk about, or corporate panels where certain corporate groups will make a panel to talk about some bigger thing, like say Nexon has a panel where they have all the Nexon staff with the music and all their other things happening there. Yes, there's also cosplay in the anime conventions, and the cosplayers will be roaming around, and they will gather at certain times in certain places for certain fandoms. They do that. But it's very different. It's very different. I personally do not like the anime conventions. It gets a little too crowded. It's a little bit too rowdy for me. But the few times I have gone, I did enjoy mainly going around and taking pictures of cosplayers and going around the merchant alley. That was my main thing whenever I did go to an anime convention. There may have been a couple of panels I have gone to. The one panel I remember going to vividly and was in Anime Weekend Atlanta many years ago when Zun from the creator of the Toho series was there. And you bet that room was packed. Was packed full of all the Toho fans at the time. Forget what year that was exactly. But he was there in the flesh, and it was kind of amazing. We got to ask him questions. Someone asked him about, like, would he ever consider selling on Steam, and he said he was thinking about it. And I think now he's finally, many years later, gonna finally do it. Yeah, we have like Toho fan-made stuff in Steam right now, but I don't think that there's some mainline Toho games, but yeah, he slowly started doing that, I guess. The less he made actual games these days. But anyway, we'll see what the rest of the year gives us as far as some of the gacha. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna have to pick and choose which ones to stick to, because I don't have the bandwidth to have too many games on myself. I'm actually surprised I'm still playing Limbus Company. I do enjoy the game in Limbus Company. I do enjoy the story too, even though it's like very heavy emotionally, very heavy content-wise. But the thing about Limbus Company that's hilarious is that dailies literally can take as little as 3 minutes. You would think for all the clashing and all the amount of enemies you fight in Limbus Company, dailies would take a lot longer, but no. It literally takes 3 to 5 minutes. Because you're probably a little bit overpowered when you do the dailies. It's the stories that take a long time. The story for any huge section takes anywhere from 4 to 7 hours. Even more. Even more. All the story stuff in Limbus Company for one chapter could probably take you a good 24 hours, roughly. Don't do the dailies, just do the weeklies. You know, that's fair also. The weeklies take a little bit longer. I think the weeklies if we're talking mirror dungeon, just one mirror dungeon run, probably takes roughly about an hour or so, which is like the longest thing that you have to do, but thankfully you only have to do it once. But like once a week. Some people do more than one run a week, and I don't know how they do it. It's probably the only thing they play. But the other hilarious part with Limbus Company, your stamina caps roughly every 12 to 14 hours. However, you don't have to burn that on anything. You can just convert it into other resources, and that literally takes like 3 seconds. 3 seconds from opening the game. Okay, maybe a little bit longer than 3 seconds, but basically once you're in the game, it takes 2 seconds. You convert it, you log off, and that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. It's actually very low time commitment until you do story stuff. So that's probably why I've been sticking to it, other than me being morbidly curious what's coming up next. But yeah, low commitment games for the daily is probably the best way to keep me. So we'll see which ones do that. I'm hoping both Asa Arashio and Project RX do that, because they both look interesting, and I want to see where that takes us. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me today, guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you for playing. We'll try to do this again before I leave in August, but I'll have an official announcement next month when it gets a little bit closer to when I have to leave. So yeah, I will, as far as next week's schedule, I feel like it's going to be mostly the same as this week's schedule. We're going to see. I'm going to double check, but just keep an eye out on the community tab and Twitter, mostly the community tab, because that's probably where you'll see it. Community tab in what do you call this? In YouTube, because I don't think there's anything like that on Twitch. But all right, yeah, I'll probably have the schedule up this weekend, the usual time. I'll try. All right, see you guys. Have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.